What is up, everybody? It's Grim here. Hope you're all good this fine day. And yeah, we're going back. We're going retro styly. I'm leveling up an alt. Hence why I just thought something different. I was like, what am I going to do a video on? I know the topic. What's the visual content you guys get to look at? What's the visuals that are going to massage your eyeballs while hopefully my voice caresses your eardrums? And do you know what? It was fucking Hell's Breach again. Or it was Tanan Jungle again. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So you know what? I'm going to jump on an alt. And I don't think I'm the only one. This is not a bitch on Tanan Jungle 6.2, but it is kind of a reflection. And then we're going to talk about cool fun stuff, so bear with me. Now, if you're a YouTuber or anybody that does, you know, game-related content on any kind of forum, you get your information from, you know, the big sources that deal with your game. And obviously, if it was a Call of Duty, I would go to Charlie Intel. If it was, you know, if it's WoW, then I'll go to Wowhead. I'll go to MMO Champion, and I'll have a look at those. I'll go to other guys that are YouTubers, you know, that I like, and I'll go and listen to what they've got to say. And that's fine. That's cool. I mean, you're not stealing ideas off anybody or anything like that. You're just going to the source of information. Because if you're not one of those people that's, you know, sucking developer dong and therefore don't have an inside track, then there's not a lot you can do. You have to wait and find it on, you know, news sources. And so, you know, I did my usual check and I went onto Wowhead, and I actually have it open on my other screen. Okay, so let's go through what Wowhead's current stuff is. Okay, this is the front page of Wowhead. New site feature: Wowhead now mobile friendly. New gear in the shops, so you can get new merchandise in the WoW shop. Search Wowhead in-game with Overwolf. Warcraft movie trailer. That's what we're going to talk about. That's awesome, cool. But Dark Moon Fair. Then fireworks. Now it's like that's the front page is nothing particularly exciting or like wow, awesome. You know, then I go to MMO Champion and it's pretty much the same thing. They've got the movie trailer, which is the big thing at the moment, and of course the race for Mythic Hellfire Citadel. Method, as far as I'm aware, still being out in the front with 12.13, and I think Paragon are just behind them on 11.13. And then I was like delving deeper, and I was looking at the forums. What are people talking about in the forums? And the forums are just as bad. What I'm trying to get at is nobody is discussing 6.2. Nobody is talking about the patch. And the things, you know, oh wow, look at this awesome thing I found, or look at this, or look at this. We are all, well, I say we already, people are already tired of this content. It's shockingly bad considering that I think the biggest two things that Blizzard took from Mr. Pandora were dailies. You can saturate. You can have too many dailies. Okay, you can have too much, and they attempted to rectify that in the fact that we had, when Warlords of Draenor launched, very few dailies. That's fine. Okay. Then I think the other thing they took was Siege of Orgrimmar went on too fucking long, and people were tired and bored of doing LFR Siege of Orgrimmar, Heroic Siege of Orgrimmar. There's just too much Siege of Orgrimmar. Too much. There's only so many times. And the worst thing, I mean, especially if you're Horde, you're in this place all the fucking time. It's not even like you've got new aesthetics to look at and go, wow, this is cool. It's just dull as fucking dish. It's just painfully dull. And they seem to have recreated exactly the same mistake again. We are looking at, even if in November, right, they turn around and go, guys, boom! There you go, new expansion. Do you know what? Fuck it, we're not even having a beta. This thing is just launching. This is going live in December. Bang! We've still got months of doing this because they've said no new content patch. It's just, this is not a bitch or rag on 6.2. It's just kind of an observation of, Jesus, is this really all there is? Like, is this it? Anyway, we'll put that to one side. What I did want to talk about, which is really fucking cool, is the Warcraft movie. If you haven't seen the teaser, the little trailers released by Legendary, you should go and check it out. It's on Wowhead, it's on MMO Champion, it's on YouTube. I will say this, definitely check it out on your phone. I had a look, first of all, on my browser, and it does say, you know, you want to look at this on your mobile phone with the app. Because I looked at it on the computer, and I was like, It looks like it's in 360p. It looks awful. It's fucking horrendous. But it's Ponzi 360 spherical video stuff. When you watch it on your phone, it's really fucking cool. It's really, really cool. Really exciting. Definitely looking forward to finding out more about the Warcraft movie. And I just hope... It's actually... and I apologise now. If I can remember the name, I will put it in the comments. But somebody was talking about this on YouTube. And he was basically saying that if Blizzard want to get back onto something approaching what they did with Wrath of the Lich King, which, in my personal opinion, is the peak, is the pinnacle of WoW. Many may say vanilla, some will say TBC. It all depends what you look for, and certainly when you started playing the game. But for me, Wrath was the pinnacle in terms of storytelling, my immersion, and just everything that went into it. It was fantastic. And I think part of that was probably because of Warcraft 3 and the fact that, you know, Arthas was such a character even before, you know, World of Warcraft was, as in the game, the MMO was born. It was there's so much lore, there was so much to that character, and now we kind of see that, you know, the later expansions have been very light on the lore, on the immersion in the game. It's been very much a focus of, you know, the books, the comics, the, you know, there's been numerous other ways of Blizzard of putting out the lore, and I understand, you know, that's a way of generating a revenue stream. If you can sell books and comics and everything else that pad the lore out, well, that's fine, that's fantastic. Why put it in the game? But the problem is then you lose something. You lose something if you're... Say, for instance, you'd never, ever, ever read or heard about or looked up anything to do with the book regarding Garrosh and what happened during the trial. You would be like, what the fuck are we doing on Draenor? Many may be saying that anyway, but you'd be like, what the hell's going on? We completely lost something there, and it would have been really cool to have a scenario or something, you know, that would just help pad out the story. For instance, in the trial, I'm not going to go through the whole thing of the trial, but in the trial, in the end, obviously, Garrosh escapes and goes back in time. Now, what would be the problem with us being there? If you're Alliance, you're guarding the door for Virion as they're all chatting away, and if you're Horde, you're stood there for Vol'jin. You know, he's brought you there because you were obviously a hero of what went on in Pandora, and you can you get snippets and cutscenes of what's going on, and then you're there when all hell breaks loose. Soldiers start fighting, and you realise that Garrosh has escaped. That would make an epic scenario, would tell a huge chunk of story, and my immersion, my wanting to be there, my wanting to chase Garrosh down in Draenor would be slightly more. Little things like that. Many may say they don't like the scenario system, they didn't enjoy it in Pandaland, but I think it brought a lot to the storytelling. It's fantastic that we have stuff like the Warcraft movie, the books, and that sort of thing. But when you suck the lore out of your MMO, of your game, when you suck the story out of it, you lose so much in terms of player immersion. I've seen so many people say, I don't care about Tanan Jungle. I really don't. It's not the farming, it's not the rep grind, I just don't care. I don't know why I'm there, I don't really give a flying fuck. Now, it may be that people are just saturated with Orc. Too much Orc! Too much! Give us something new, and I really do hope we get fucking Naga, Murlocs. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I would love to see a more Alliance-driven storyline. You know, something going on with the Alliance. Just let the Horde sit out of it for a bit, because I'm saturated with Horde and Orcs. I'm bored of it, and I am the fucking Horde. But the Horde-focused storylines are just dull now. I want to see something else. As I say, go check out the movie. It's really awesome. I'm super looking forward to it. But don't forget, Blizz, just try to bring a little bit of that lore, a little bit of that magic back into the game if you want it to survive. Anyway, that's me done, guys. Have a great one. I'll talk to you later.